Hello.
And welcome back or welcome to Books and Crannies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Danielle.
Yeah, you are.
I sure am. And it's time for a personal read check-in, guys.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Obviously.
Come on.
What else would we be doing?
Seriously.
It's not like we have podcast. This is a check-in, not a podcast. It might look like a podcast.
Yeah, but
It's late.
it's late.
Come on.
Don't judge us.
Shut up. Just kidding. Love you. We have a
Don't
lot
leave,
to talk
please.
about, so we should get into it.
Yeah. This is gonna be
Instead of
a
ranting
hefty
together.
one.
It is. Well, I think you should start. We both have 3 reviews and a number of in-progresses to talk about. Well, what's your first review, Sarah?
Well, I'll start with what I had in progress last week.
Yeah, dude.
So I finished The Cursed by Harper Elwoods, which is the sequel to The Coven
Yeah.
that I finished a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving dark romance, demons,
Dark romance.
witches. Come on.
Hey, sounds good.
Yeah.
Off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, and I know you loved The Coven.
I did. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah. But what'd you rate this one? There's the sigh.
I gave it 2 stars.
Oh, no. That's a
Yeah.
terrible way to follow up such a high rating.
It was indeed.
Why? What the heck happened?
It was bad.
Tell me. Why?
I am so disappointed in this follow-up. It
That
was
sucks.
not a good sequel. There was literally 0 plot. It was all smut. And it, wasn't good smut.
Ugh.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever read, but it wasn't good.
high quality.
Mostly because the relationship between the main characters was very toxic.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read this, including you, but I'm going to spoil it for you a little bit.
Okay. That's fine.
I'm spoiling the first book for you.
Okay.
The main character is literally the devil.
Ah! Spoilers!
So, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less than a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
But, come on.
But it was icky nonetheless.
Icky.
Icky smut. And didn't the first book not have a ton of smut?
Yeah, there
So then
wasn't
to
a
turn
bunch. It was
around-
like really, really slow burn.
Yeah.
And then the last maybe 20-30% had some sprinkled in here and there, but it wasn't like the main focus. Where in this book it was,
Just a bunch.
that's all it was.
Great.
And then you're focused on like the main female character, Willow, and the first 90% of this book is just her trying so hard to hate the
Devil?
devil. His name is Gray,
Mm-hmm.
the main male character. And then she's like trying so hard to hate him that becomes her only personality trait, like
Ugh.
is hating him. And I'm like, oh my god, stop, get over it.
Stop being consumed
Yeah, and then
by a man.
And then all of a sudden in the last 10% of the book, she's like, oh my god, I love him so much.
Ugh. Stop.
With absolutely no relationship building anywhere in all of that.
Great.
It went from, oh god, I want to say things so bad, but I don't want to spoil the whole entire thing for you. There was like this thing that happened that absolutely shouldn't have made her love him, but because she didn't succeed in the thing that she was trying to do, all of a sudden she loves him.
Okay.
Okay.
Flip of a switch. That's icky.
Yeah.
Tell us why. Make it worth it.
Really, like, build the relationship. Make it cute. Not just like, oh,
Suddenly
He's-
head over heels.
so hot that I can't not touch him. I love him.
We do complain about that in multiple reviews when it's like, why are you in love?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other things?
No, I mean, overall, just the pacing was horrible. There literally nothing happened in the first 90% of the book aside from banging, and then the last 10% was this like big climax that was just really unsatisfying and rushed, and it left you on a cliffhanger that was also very unsatisfying. Like, I love a cliffhanger, but this one was like, really?
Really?
We're gonna make a whole nother book about that? Really?
Oh, no.
Really?
Oh, no. Well, damn.
So,
That
yeah.
sucks. That's not a good way to follow it up.
Bumtown in the USA.
Big bum town. Especially after we just read the Shepherd King duo
Mhm.
and how it was like the perfect
Perfect.
sequel.
duology, yeah.
Well, shoot. I'm sorry to hear it didn't live up to the first book.
It is what it is.
I'll read it one day.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready for your first review. Tell me.
Well, Sarah, I finished my audiobook from last week, about 16% of it, the Ex Hex
Okay.
by Erin Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
This is a witchy romance.
Yeah.
Like
a cozy romance.
Cozy romance with some witches, and they feel young. Like, that kind of vibe.
Okay.
With a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
Sprinkled in.
Sick. What'd you rate it?
I gave it a 3.
Okay.
3-star. I feel like it could take less, but I didn't hate my experience.
Yeah.
It was a very, very easy read. It was like a cozy vibe, I suppose. The whole story and premise is surrounding this couple or former couple and a hex that they must solve.
Oh.
It's in the name. Ex Hex. Come on.
Okay.
And what I didn't love is that there wasn't a ton of magic. Like, it wasn't a big focus around it. And I understand that it's a romance, so maybe I shouldn't be expecting that. There was some, but I was like, okay, give me more.
Yeah.
I'm a magic girly. I need it all. That, and it was just predictable. I mean, you knew what was going to happen at the beginning of the book. And, well, maybe not like the specifics, but essentially.
Yeah.
And I didn't love the main male character. He was just kind of annoying, and I wasn't quite sure why she was fawning over him for so long, and it was just kind of like pompous in a way. Came from like a high family, but he was the black sheep of the family, but still kind of hoity-toity. The writing was fine. It was easy. It wasn't anything to write home about.
Okay.
And there wasn't any they had banter, but I didn't care for it.
That's fair.
And it was fine. I don't know. It was fast. Passed some time while I drove.
Okay.
So I don't regret it. But I would not read it again.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So if you want easy squeezy witch romance book for cozy fall times, then read it.
Did it give you like Halloween-y vibes?
Not particularly.
Oh, bummer.
They maybe a little, but not really. It's surrounding this event that goes on in the town, and this town is like fueled by magic from the hoity-toity family.
Okay.
And they have this day where they celebrate the history of the town, and it is right before Halloween, but it didn't like lean into that too hard.
I hate that.
I mean, maybe it did, and I'm just being cynical, but they did stuff on Halloween.
Okay.
But it wasn't like, let's talk about Halloween.
Okay.
Does that make any sense?
Sure. Yeah.
But you could still read it around Halloween and see if I'm wrong, and tell me if, because I didn't read it on Halloween, everything's ruined. I don't know.
You just did the whole thing wrong.
The timing was off.
Yep.
But it was fine.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't hate it.
No, if you want like a fast, quick, kind of cute read, then there it is.
Sick.
What's your next review, Sarah?
Oh my goodness. I listened to, I should say, all of The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros.
Yes, I saw this, and I'm excited to hear about it.
Yeah, it's a historical romance.
What?
I know.
What?
I know.
Oh my god.
So, I might have a new favorite genre. I'm just kidding.
Oh, snap.
But it was really good.
Okay. What'd you rate it?
I gave it 4 stars.
Oh my gosh.
And I will say, I gave it 4 stars while also sleeping through a lot of it. So,
at least there's that.
My mom and I were listening to this while we were driving to South Dakota.
Yeah.
And I was dead on my ass because we had a late night the night before.
Sure did.
And yeah, so I slept through chunks of it, but it was still really good. Like, I didn't feel like
you were missing out.
I was like, I mean, I obviously missed out.
Sure.
It maybe would have been a 5-star if I hadn't slept through it.
Oh my god.
So
yeah, I always wonder how I'm conflicted about how I feel about that. Like, if I can zone out for 15 minutes and don't miss anything, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Right.
Like, I feel like I don't want to waste 15 minutes for nothing.
Right.
But also it helps my ADHD brain, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just feel like with this one, like, because I'm gonna first
tell me your review.
I rated it 4 stars. Oh,
yes,
I said that already.
You did.
Okay, never mind.
Reiterate. But why? We got on side rant.
Messy. So the story follows 2 different couples.
Okay.
One of which is in the present day, and the other is in like World War II era.
Okay. That's cool.
So,
Love
and
it
they're
already.
tied together. The present day female is the great granddaughter of the past female.
Okay.
So I like that right off the bat.
Of course.
I love jumping characters and timelines.
Me too.
I will say that I really enjoyed, and this probably comes as no surprise to you or to anybody, but I really enjoyed the past sections of the book better than I liked the present day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily because of the historical side of it. It was the couple. Like, I really enjoyed their love story way more than I liked the present day love story.
Okay.
They were just the sweetest little beans.
Cuties.
Part of why I didn't give it 5 stars is because in the present day, like every time we were in a present day chapter, I was like annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to go back to the past viewpoint.
Okay, that's fair. But also shouldn't have to feel that way.
Yeah,
it's like half the book.
It's just, it wasn't like it was the writing's fault. It was just I loved the 2 characters in the past so much more.
Yeah.
I just liked their relationship better.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it was any of the authors. Anything.
Any fault of the author?
Thank you.
Got you.
The 2 love stories, right,
Mm-hmm.
were very beautiful in their own ways.
Yeah.
They were very different, but at times it made it feel, because you're jumping back and forth, it made it feel like a little disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the plot wasn't like progressing in the same pace between the 2 stories, I felt like. So I don't know, it just made it feel kind of jumbly.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay. I could see that if
Yeah.
they're not like keeping up with one another.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's 2 whole different stories.
Exactly. They're completely
story.
different couples. It shouldn't be exactly the same, but
Yeah.
it just felt a little to me.
Gotcha.
But yeah, outside of all of that, there was a plot twist at the end that I didn't see coming at all.
Hey, we love a plot twist.
And if I had been listening to it myself alone, I would have been like, oh, I probably just wasn't paying close enough attention. And there were probably context clues.
Yeah.
But I was listening with my mom, who is very, like,
intense.
smart. And even she was like, So I loved the ending to the book because I was like,
what?
Are you kidding me? This whole time? Oh my god.
I love that.
But yeah.
Well, shit.
That's all. Overall,
cool.
It was a really cute book. I liked it a lot.
I'm excited about that because of Rebecca Yarros being so closely tied to Fourth Wing in my head.
Yeah.
And so to have like an entirely different genre do well,
yeah,
in your opinion, is cool.
Yeah. I will say I've heard from the people on the TikTok that this story is supposed to be like heart-wrenching.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get me wrong, the ending was sad.
Yeah.
But I didn't cry.
You?
I know.
Okay, well that's saying something.
So clearly it wasn't heart-wrenching.
Clearly. Well,
So.
shoot. Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
And also, it makes me want to listen to an audiobook together one day.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to want to do, I guess, but like experience a book together.
I know, right?
Without like reading it, but like in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe
we
we'll
could do
that
that
one
sometime.
day. We'll find another activity to do while we do that.
Yeah, we just have to find a short audiobook because we never get more than like 10 hours.
Yeah. We have a short amount of time to fit it in. We'll figure it out. All right. Well,
sick.
Cool.
All right, Danielle, give it to me. What's your next review?
Well, all of my reviews, by the way, are audiobooks this week because I've been
God.
driving a lot. But the next one that I finished,
Mm-hmm.
I listened to the entirety of The Tattooist of Auschwitz
Ooh.
by Heather Morris.
Ooh. I'm going to cut in
Yeah.
really quick. I tried to listen to this book on audiobook
Mm-hmm.
when I first started listening to audiobooks.
Yeah.
And I could not do it.
What about it made you unable?
It's just the vibe.
Yeah.
I think it was like the second book I ever tried to listen to on audiobook. And I was
Okay.
like, I don't know if this is the kind of story that I want on audiobook.
To listen
and so
to.
now I kind of want to try again because
Yeah.
I'm more versed in audiobook.
That's fair. Yeah, it is an historical fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in the name. It's about a tattooist of Auschwitz. He's actually in a couple of different concentration camps.
Mm-hmm.
And it is actually retelling, like the author met with the man, the main male character in the book, and he told her his story. And Sarah.
Yeah, what did you rate it, Danielle?
Well, I gave it a 4.
Okay.
4-star.
Okay.
It was really good. In the way that, like, it's a historical fiction about concentration camps good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's a harrowing story.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very powerful. It's interesting, especially knowing that it was a story told to the author by the person.
Yeah, that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Based on a true story.
Sad. Yeah. But it was really well written. I think that she put together his story so well. I would love to know, like, what of it is fiction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what had to be flourished to fill in blanks, etc.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very interesting tale. I feel like we've learned a lot about, in the U.S., we learn about the Holocaust often in school, like at least every year. And to get sort of a first-person account, so to speak, about it is very interesting to me. I find it horrible and horribly fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Morbid fascination, perhaps. But it was a great story. Yes, a lot of it was based in terrible times and terrible conditions, but it was also a story of survival and persistence and growth and coming to a good end. Like, there was a good end, you know? They made their way through and came to something beautiful at the end.
Yeah.
And I really loved that about it. The characters were easy to love. The main male character was very easy to love. And he finds his love in the camp. Aww. And they survive in it together and are sort of each other's, like, rock through it all. Mm-hmm. And so to watch their story bloom was really lovely. And it was just captivating. Yeah. I think why I dropped it a star is just because the pacing was a little bit erratic in some cases, but I feel like that's kind of to be expected when it's a story that's being told to you. Yeah. So I can't, like, crap on it too much. That, and it is, like, a heavier topic, and, you know.
I also feel like because it's based on a true story, like, that could be part of his story, is like the pacing isn't great.
Yeah, no, fair.
In the circumstances that he's in, things could be crazy one minute and then not, you know.
Absolutely fair. And it was a lot of sort of jumping around to find the, like, monumental times in his journey. So I can imagine that all of the in-between is just like the absolute shit day to day of being in a concentration camp. So fair. Yeah. I just feel like, to some extent, the author could have embellished a little bit, you know what I mean? Especially in the form of a historical fiction to sort of keep it on track. Yeah. But overall, it was a really good book for what it was. I really enjoyed myself with it. Yeah. In the way that I thought that she captivated or captured the story really well and told a beautiful story. Yeah. That, while sad and absolutely horrible and makes you wonder how humans could ever be so terrible, also ended up being something beautiful. Yeah. So it was good. And we're historical fiction girlies now, so I had to do it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you should read it if you like historical fiction and reading about World War II.
Yeah. Do it or else.
Or else. That's including you, Sarah.
I know. Now I really want to listen to it, but I got to wait a while because
I think it was available.
I know, but reviews...
But you have other stuff going.
No, I don't want to read it right after you read it.
Oh, yeah. We got to space out.
Oh. Space out the reviews.
Oh. All right.
So I'll wait like a month.
Okay, great. One day we'll hear about it from you. What's your next review?
Okay, I listened to all of... I started this yesterday.
Okay. Was it fasty?
I finished it this morning.
It was a quickie?
It was quick. I think it was a 8-hour audiobook.
Okay.
And I listened to it on 2.5 speed.
Oh, you're getting up there now.
The narrator in this one was really slow.
That's fair.
The narrators, I should say.
Yeah.
Anyways.
What is it?
I listened to all of When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole.
Okay.
It is a thriller.
Yes.
About a lady.
Great.
a black woman.
Okay.
And a white man.
Okay. That is all the context.
Yeah. I'll tell you a little more in my review.
Okay. Well, what'd you rate it?
I gave it 3 stars.
Okay, that's not bad for a thriller.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I'll rate all of them.
And I want to say that this book, Danielle, was a little bit of a mix of a thriller and a romance.
Oh no!
And it actually really worked.
Did it work
in this book? Yeah, because the romance wasn't like super front forward at all. Yeah, it was mostly like dude pining after woman, and then in the end, she's finally like,
all right, I guess
maybe.
Okay. Another thriller romance. Okay, well, the other one just wasn't it. Yeah. Didn't do it well.
Yeah.
Well, why'd you give it a 3?
I have a lot of things to say.
Tell me them.
I have a lot of opinions this week about my books.
That's fine.
I really loved the premise of this book, and I'm going to tell you a little more. This book is compared... Have you seen the movie Get Out?
Yes.
Similar vibe.
Okay.
So, included in the thriller plot of this book is gentrification, and that's a big, big part of the story.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Interesting.
It worked really well. It was written really well from the perspective of a black woman.
Yeah. That sounds interesting.
Really, really interesting. I didn't know that when I was just scrolling through Libby one day. Yeah. Yesterday.
As you do.
I was like, I need a book, a short book, because I want to try to knock it out before Thursday.
Yeah.
And saw this one and I was like, thriller. Boom.
Great.
Got it.
Let's do it.
And then it started and I was like, is this a thriller? Because the beginning really focuses on the seclusion of the black community, and it's set in Brooklyn.
Okay.
So they're, being forced into these neighborhoods that are not great. And when some white man in power is mad at a black person, they're going to cut off all the power to this neighborhood for no reason.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Lovely.
all of that.
Lovely.
I feel like the social injustice of it all was just written really well. I really liked the main characters.
Okay.
It was written well in the fact that you could very easily get attached to both of the main characters.
Okay. We love that.
Yeah. The man is a sweetie. I like him.
That's good.
And he's going through his own shit and is, in the end, very tied into all of the horrible things that are happening and unknowingly.
Okay.
I like them both. I also really loved that the plot was super slowly built.
Okay.
And I really like that in a thriller. Like, I don't want it to be super intense all the time.
Yeah, fair.
I like a slow build.
Yeah. Keep me guessing.
Yeah, and it just, I feel like,
I mean, I get you.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be an action movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
More on that in a second. I'm going to go into my bad things now.
Okay, tell me the bad.
The bad guys were so over the top evil that it felt like watching a really bad action movie. Or like a really bad cartoon where
it's a villain.
The villain is going to get you.
Staged in reality.
Yeah. So it made it at the end I was like, ugh. The whole book was so good up until the last quarter, and you just ruined it with these over the top bad guys that are so overly dramatic, and
evil
villains.
It
made it feel not real anymore.
Right.
And especially in this book, you're dealing with real world problems with the gentrification and the social justice, and then you're gonna come in here and ruin it with these fucking idiots that don't feel like real people. They feel like cartoons.
Yeah. That's frustrating.
Yeah. And with that, I feel like the pacing was a little bit off. And I know that I just said that I liked the pacing. And I did for 3/4 of the book.
Right.
So the first 3/4, you have this slow, intense building to this really unexciting climax.
Yeah.
And the last quarter of the book was so incredibly rushed and overly dramatic that it was just like
a slap together kind of vibe.
Yeah. It felt like when we finally got to the thriller of it all, the author didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah.
At all.
She didn't have the end in mind, but when she started writing.
Yeah. And I looked into the author a little bit because I really liked the first majority of the book.
Yeah.
And this was her first thriller, so I'm cutting her a little bit of slack on that.
Fair.
Maybe it'll get better.
Yeah.
If she continues to write in that genre. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a fun read. Fun in the way that it can be.
Yeah. Both of the last 2 books were it was great, but bad.
Yeah.
That's all. A thriller wreck. I feel like every time I read a thriller, I'm like, man, it's fine. So I need people to give me really good ones. We're still waiting.
Overall, yeah, I think you should read it. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Until the last
little
bit. And it wasn't bad. It didn't ruin the entire book. It was just ugh.
Super villains all of a
I
sudden.
wish it could have been better.
Yeah. Bummer.
It might have been a 4-star if the ending had been written better.
Rude.
Less rushed.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Well, maybe I will one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should probably talk about what we're currently reading.
I have one more review.
Oh,
Sarah.
shit. You have another review. That's
I sure
right.
do.
Give me your last review, Danielle.
I'm really excited about this one.
Oh, my God.
I listened to another audiobook.
Okay, what was it?
I read all of Weyward by Emilia Hart. I know.
I'm jealous that you read this.
I'm sorry.
Because it's on my TBR.
Yeah, it was on mine too. It is a witchy tale.
Mm-hmm.
But it spans generations.
Okay.
And yeah, is mainly focused, I mean, it's witches, so on the women and their journey through discovering their witchery.
Okay.
And learning how to live in society with it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you rate it?
I gave it a 5-star.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I just finished it today. You were here.
Yeah.
It was so good, Sarah.
Tell me more. Give me a review. I need to know.
Okay, well, first off, witch vibes.
Yeah.
Period.
Come on.
Say less.
Say less. Great review. All right.
That's
what
all.
are you reading now?
Okay, so the book is parsed out into 3 different characters.
Okay.
In 3 different times. All of the same lineage.
Okay.
Dealing with the world perceiving them as witches and also the world treating them as women over time and like how that progresses.
Okay.
And the stories between the 3 are all very similar, and I think that like that's part of the lore is, you know, the Weyward line sort of ends up in similar situations. So I love the jumping timelines. I love the jumping characters.
Naturally.
And it was almost like every chapter was a new character between the 3 of them.
Okay.
And they're all tied together, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard to parse out like their exact ties to one another in the beginning of the book. So there is some question and like mystery behind it all. And you're wondering like what all these ladies have to do with each other, what the heckins, while they tell their own story of strife and overcoming things in their time. The magic is not forefront, I will say that.
Okay.
That's not something that's like heavily focused on, but I don't think it needed to be, because it was more about the tale of being a witch woman.
Yeah.
I don't know like what that means for them, and also why they are outcast and ostracized, but also deal with so much struggle when it comes to men, because the Weywards like are very much female focused and don't need men in their circles, and all of them end up in really horrible circumstances with men, but they find a way through it. The magic is just a small part of it, and it's mostly like nature focused, so being like really in tune with animals and having like herbal magic.
I love that.
Yes. It was really, really well written. All 3 of the women had accents, which were great, and I didn't dislike any of them. They all were wonderful, and it was 3 different narrators.
I was gonna ask. Okay.
And it was really well paced. I feel like even though you're jumping back and forth between everybody, like I wasn't confused, and I think it helped that it was 3 different narrators.
Yeah.
So you'd come back to like a specific voice and be like, oh, we're back here with frickin' Violet. And it just was lovely. I don't know. It was so good. It gave me really good vibes.
Love that.
And it ended well. There was a nice resolution. There's a lot of growth for each of the women, respectively. And I think that, like, over the generations, they helped each other in some way, which was also really cool.
Okay. Like,
the oldest of them in 1600s or something, like, you know, built a foundation for the others to grow upon.
Yeah.
And
so they like tied together without it being just because they're related.
Right.
In some way.
Yeah. They sort of passed something on to the next.
Yeah.
In the generation in the line. And it was just a really cool story. It was fun.
Nice.
And kind of melancholy. It was giving rainy fall day.
Stop it.
Or evening. Yeah, I wanted to just sit in some crunchy leaves and drink some pumpkin spice.
Apple cider.
Yeah, it was a great read. I definitely think you should pick it up.
Oh, I will.
Sometime
for
eventually.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I own it, so.
Yeah, I want to buy it. It's one of the books that every time we see it, I'm like, I need that book.
Because
it's
I don't
so
pretty.
actually know
I
why.
love the cover of that
It's
book.
beautiful, yeah. But I wanted to read it, and it was like, I put it on hold on Libby, and it suddenly came up, and I was like, oh, say less.
Nice.
It was only like a 10-hour audiobook, and I knew I had time.
Sick.
But it was written really well. The pacing was awesome. The characters were fantastic.
Great.
And we have jumping timelines and characters.
What
Come
more
on.
could you ask for? And
Cherry
witches.
on top
Come
witches. Yeah, it was really good. Really good.
I'm jealous.
It's okay. You'll read it one day.
I will.
You,
Certainly.
out of spite, read Assistant to the Villain.
Well, listen.
Did you ever review that?
Segue into current reads.
Yeah, current reads.
I DNF'd it.
Oh, no!
Not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I want to actually read it.
Okay.
I decided. I restarted the entire audiobook, and I was like, I have to read this book. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I just couldn't focus on it.
Okay.
So.
Well, that was a great segue.
Yeah.
We'll read it together, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's get you a copy.
I just
need to butter read.
I'm sad because they don't have the copies with the edges anymore.
Mine's kind of janky because I got it at a thrift store. But
yeah. My mom has one too that she bought used from someone on Facebook.
Okay.
So I could borrow hers.
Cool.
So.
Well, I know you have at least one more current read than I do. So what's your next one?
I started listening to on our drive. We did a lot of driving.
Yeah.
In South Dakota and between here and there, obviously.
Road trip.
So I started listening to Diamond Eye by Kate Quinn.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of this one. Historical fiction, I'm assuming.
It is historical fiction about a woman sniper.
Oh, snap.
I want to say World War II.
Okay.
Not 100% positive about that.
Don't quote her.
And it's based on a true story.
Okay. Which
I didn't know going into it until the audiobook started, and she was like, based on a true story. But anyways, I listened to about 60% of that.
Okay.
So I'll finish it one day. I'm listening to it with my mom, so I don't know when I'll ever have a chance to finish it. But
gotcha. How are you feeling
about
it so far? We love The Huntress.
Yeah.
Kate Quinn Stan. Is it living up?
It is, yeah. I'm really enjoying it a lot. It's good. I don't want to, say anything. Cause,
yeah. We'll save that for review.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. I'm glad you liked it.
Good shit.
Hell yeah.
I will say that I think I would be enjoying it more if I was actually reading it. But I think that about any audiobook that I listen to.
Yeah, I feel that, honestly.
Outside of Butcher and Blackbird.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad that I read Weyward audio style.
Yeah.
Because it was so good.
Yeah.
But I also liked the narrators and the accents. It added to the vibe. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
What about you?
I am still reading Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I only got 27 more pages into it, so I don't have anything to say.
Okay.
I haven't really learned anything. I've been driving all week. And anytime I have a break with nannying and having my child, it's 5 minutes. So I get a page in, I'm like, well, moving on.
That's fair.
So it's fine so far. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much has happened.
Cool.
We just got introduced to who is certainly going to be the Shadow Daddy.
Okay.
So there's that.
Great.
What else are you reading?
I have a lot of audiobooks to talk about this week. I also started listening to Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent.
Oh, shoot. Serpent Lady.
So we're talking fantasy.
Yeah.
The main female character is a slave who, in the 12% that I've listened to, has freed herself.
Okay.
And that's about as far as I've gotten.
Interesting.
But it's really interesting so far, and I'm really enjoying it.
Okay. That's good. I hope it turns out better than good old Serpy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Let me know.
I will.
I'm sure you will.
I sure will.
Who else will you tell?
Rude.
That's not really what I meant. We just have a formal time to sit down and talk about books. All right, well, Sarah.
Yeah.
The only other current read I have is the one we're reading together. We're still reading The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty.
We are.
We got
We're
another.
getting through it. We're chucking.
Chucking.
We're trucking through.
In chucks.
Mostly shoeless, but yeah.
I was thinking chunks, but okay.
Oh.
Chuck is close to Chuck.
I was thinking Chuck Taylor's
Yeah. No, I got
Converse.
that. I picked that up when you mentioned shoes. Anyway.
Silly.
We read another 145 pages of that sucker fool.
And holy shit. Dude.
Oh, God. It's so good.
There's so many things.
So much is happening.
So much.
The fucking Merid situation.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
And the friggin' Monsoon Marid?
Yeah. Well,
What?
yeah, all of that. Sobek and that monsoon guy who's just a floaty cloud. And
Yeah.
occupied Ollie's body. Rude. God. While you have freaking Dara and Nize just struggling to maintain their throne.
Yeah.
Oh, and right at the end of what we were reading, the whole shit with the people they were supposed to be meeting, Ollie took the crate of weapons.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, everyone's downed.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Oh, my God. And I also love that Ollie and Nari want it to be, like, a diplomacy rather than a freaking Your Majesty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Monarchy.
Yeah, that's the word. Not. But it's very good. I'm excited to finish it.
Yeah, it's very good.
I wanted to keep reading, but I also barely had time to read what we did, so.
I really wanted to keep going too, but I wouldn't have finished the friggin' Cursed if I hadn't. So.
Yeah, that freaking thing. Well, we'll probably have a review one day.
Yeah. Maybe this next week.
I don't know
probably
about all
not.
that. I have to read book club book.
Gross.
You should come.
I can't.
All right. Anyway, what's your other current read?
I'm taking the weekend after that off
That's
so
right.
that we can hang out,
Come
so I
hang out
can't
with
take
me.
off another day.
I guess that makes sense. But anyway, Sarah, what's your last freaking read?
Anyways, I started reading the game God's Play by Abigail Owen.
Yeah, this is your pretty fancy book.
It is. I'm 36 pages in.
Yeah.
Haven't learned a lot yet. Although I'm pretty certain that we've met Shadow Daddy already.
Oh.
I could be wrong,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure.
All right.
So we're talking gods.
Okay.
Hades.
Oh. I love a Greek mythology.
The other ones.
Yep. Well, I am excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
And to borrow it one day.
Gorgeous. So anyways,
Well, anyway,
that was a
it was a
that was
busy
a week for us.
I know.
I'm
Lots
kind of
happening.
shook because I certainly had a very, very busy week.
I also did. I'm very tired, and my daughter is refusing to sleep. So
Yeah.
it's just been a lot of. I don't know if I'm a person or if I'm alive. I'm surprised I remember anything about the books, honestly.
I don't think you are.
Damn it!
I know. Sorry to break it to you.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, what y'all read this week?
Yeah, if you read any of the books we talked about today, you gotta let us know. Leave your rating and a small
Mhm.
review if you feel so inclined.
Please do. And, you know, what are you currently reading?
Yeah.
Give us recs.
Yeah.
All the good stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to see you next week.
Yeah, we will.
All right, well.
So happy freaking reading.
Happy reading, dudes.
Okay, bye.
Bye.